Thanks for joining us on 9 News Plus. I'm Chris Bianchi. The Denver Animal Shelter has seen what they're calling an alarming spike in pets being surrendered. So far this year, 802 animals have been given up by their owners. During the same time frame last year, there were 515 pets surrendered, and that's an even bigger spike from 2019, when there were only 369 animals surrendered through this time of the year. I spoke to the director of the shelter about why this is happening and what you can do to help these pets. Now joined by the director for the Denver Animal Shelter, Melanie Sobel. And Melanie, if you could just start off by expressing the overall need and how perhaps that's grown here over the last few weeks, last few months.
Yes, we are seeing a big uptick in animals that are coming into the shelter, particularly when we compare to pre-pandemic numbers in 2019. There seems to be a lot more owner surrenders that are coming in. We did comparisons from January 1st, 2019 to today's date, and there's a 54% increase in 2023 compared to 2019. So it's very concerning. We're seeing that as a trend that's continuing. We're doubled up a lot in our dog kennels, which is not ideal. So we are concerned about our capacity issues.
And obviously some of these issues are not necessarily new. I know that going back to 2021, 2022. Have you noticed those issues increasing, decreasing over time?
It seems that they're increasing, and I think that the owner surrenders are due to, there's some variables. There's the housing market is tight and doesn't allow, larger dogs usually, or animals at all. There's inflationary costs, so the cost to care for an animal has gone up significantly, and we're talking about litter, food, veterinary care has all gone up. So that's hindering some people from keeping their animal as well. And I think a lot of people got animals during the pandemic, and so they were home and they were not working, and then when they went back to work, they were having some issues with how they could care for that animal. And maybe realized it wasn't the best decision for them with their life situation to have an animal, so they're owner surrendering because of that.
We'll get into some of the best ways to know whether or not to adopt coming up here in the next couple of minutes. But I guess when it comes back to some of those animal surrenders, are there any specific types of animals that are being surrendered more than others?
Yes, it seems like we're getting large, unsocialized dogs in, and that could be, again, getting animals not having the time or energy or resources to put into the animal to train it and acclimate it to a home appropriately. So that seems to be a trend that we're seeing, our large dogs coming in a higher number than we're used to.
And I guess when it comes to that, when you're talking about large, unsocialized dogs, is that a certain kind of breed or a certain couple of types of breeds in particular?
No, not necessarily. It's just, the other thing is that with size, a lot of landlords don't allow dogs over a certain weight. So that is a hindrance for people to adopt or obtain large dogs.
I guess when it comes to, from a bit of a broader perspective as well, what are some tips for people who are thinking about adopting, thinking about getting a dog or a cat? What should that mental checklist be in terms of whether or not they should or should not go through with that process?
So getting a pet, can be a 15-plus year commitment. So you want to make sure that you're ready to commit to that lifespan of the animal. That includes, food, it includes supplies, it includes veterinary care, routine veterinary care as well as emergency veterinary care that can happen, which can be very costly. Make sure that your living arrangements are okay with having an animal. Check with your landlord. Make sure that you can have this particular animal at this particular weight or breed or whatever. So always, do your homework. Make sure that you have an appropriate home for the animal that you're going to bring into your home.
And by the way, we're sitting in this room full of delightfully adorable kittens here. These are all kittens that are up for adoption here at the Denver Animal Shelter. I guess one other thing to ask, or when it comes to dog adoption specifically, are there any sort of deals or any sort of promotions available? And we're recording this, by the way, on Friday, May the 26th.
We do. We have our Pay It Forward adoption special. Any dog over 40 pounds is only $20, and then we're asking for a $20 donation if people are willing to help our special revenue fund, which supports our progressive programs and services we do at the shelter. And that includes spay neuter, vaccinations, microchip, everything, all vaccinations for the animal.
Wow, that's certainly a good deal. And I guess when it comes to somebody who might be thinking about adopting for the first time, are there resources available? Are there either online or through the animal shelter for people that, again, might be first-time pet owners to have?
Yes, actually on our website, we have a resource page that has a lot of good information. There's a lot of animal welfare organizations, national ones, the ASPCA, Humane Society of the United States. They all have a plethora of information on their websites to how to be a responsible pet owner.
When you have a surrender, just out of curiosity, do you speak with the owner about what the reasons are so that way you have a better idea for what's behind the surrender?
We absolutely do. We try to get as much information as possible about the animal, health-wise, behavior-wise, so that we can place that animal into a new home and give the animal a second chance. We also have no owner surrender fee, so people, we understand people have life situations where they can no longer care for a pet, and that's why we're here. And so people are welcome to come and owner surrender their animals. We do ask, though, that you exhaust all possible options before you make that decision. Check with family, check with friends. Maybe put the animal on Craigslist and do some careful screening of where the animal's going to go. But we will always be here as a safety haven for animals in need.
And it's also, if you're unable to adopt and you go through that process, that's not the only way you can help out with these animals, right? I mean, there's volunteer opportunities available here at the Denver Animal Shelter as well.
We have a ton of volunteer opportunities, and we welcome them. Volunteers are our lifeline. They come in, they socialize the animals, they keep them physically and mentally happy, they take them on walks, they play with them, they show animals to the public for adoption, and help facilitate adoptions, which is wonderful. They help us with dishes, with laundry, with everything, special events, just so many opportunities for people to help.
That's fantastic as well. Any final things we should know about, or our audience should know about, in terms of the increase in the need to adopt, and also, maybe some tips for people who are thinking about it as well?
Just do your homework. Be prepared before you make this 15-plus year commitment. There's a lot that goes into it. Make sure that if you want a certain breed, make sure you research that breed and what the needs are for that breed. Some breeds require more exercise. Some breeds require more mental stimulation. You shouldn't get an animal just the way it looks, or that you like the way it looks. You should, animals we're bred for a specific purpose and has specific behaviors. So just make sure that you are prepared for what you're getting into.
Yeah, it's not an impulse decision, is basically what you're saying.
Right.
Well, Melanie, thank you so much for your time and everything that you do here at the Animal Shelter, and we really appreciate your time here today.
Thank you.